And good afternoon, everybody. It is exactly 4 p.m. if you are here live on Friday, the 10th of January, 2025. It's the first live stream back of the new year. If you've never seen me before, my name is Ross. I run actonthis.tv. An incredible site you want to get involved in if you are an actor and you want to work more on TV this year, along with this guy here, producer Petch and community manager. Petch, how are you doing? It's the first live stream back of the new year. We're a bit rusty probably, aren't we? How are you feeling?
It's that going back to work feeling, isn't it? You know, when you have a bit of time off and you're like, what do I have to do again? What goes where? How do I do that?
But when you look what you do, Petch, you don't work a day in your life. So don't say that you don't. That this feels like work. You know you love this. You love this more than anything else that you do. Going live on a Friday afternoon, making sure people finish the week strong. He lives for it. So good afternoon, everybody. If you are watching live, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you're watching on the replay, you can still leave us comments. If you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment. If you're watching on where are we going out at? X, we're going out on Instagram. We'll
LinkedIn.
give people shout outs in a little minute. LinkedIn as well. Do leave comments because we can still, see those after the stream. If you want to get involved in the conversation and have your comments brought up on screen today, where's the best place to hang out, Petch? YouTube probably, yeah? youtube.com/actonthistv.
Yep, YouTube is always the best place to come. That way you can hit the notification bell and you can keep notice of when we are going live, or whenever we drop any other kind of content over on YouTube, like the YouTube shorts that we're doing as well. LinkedIn, we can bring up comments from LinkedIn, and X, we can bring up comments from X. We just can't do it from Instagram, I'm afraid.
But I can give people shout outs on Instagram, so we'll just give a little shout out. Destiny, how you doing? Kieran's in the house. Recon Originals here. Radio Walia, how you doing? Itzy's in the house. Louise, Jenny, how you doing? Can't pronounce that one. SH4IL3N. Thanks so much for being here. So yeah, we'll give the shout outs to people on Instagram, and I'll keep checking in for comments. Grace is here on YouTube. Afternoon, gents. Thanks for keeping me company on the train journey home from work. Yeah, I guess people finish work early, don't they, on a Friday? So we'll keep
a huge congratulations to Grace as well. Got married.
Oh yeah, Grace, you got married. Grace is a member of actonthis.tv. So yeah, Grace has been around the community a while. Grace, yeah, congrats. So Grace, are you keeping your stage name as Blackman, or have you got a new name now from your husband? What are you going to do on Equity and Spotlight, all that sort of stuff? We'll have to discuss that at some point. What we're going to talk about today, folks, we'll keep giving shout outs in a second, Petch, but just to give people a bit of context on what we're going to discuss, because it's January. Okay, this is obviously really kind of like the end of the first proper week back of 2025. Lots of actors are going to be optimistic, I hope. You better be. There's going to be a lot more work available this year in 2025. And people will be enthusiastic. They're going to be sort of like chomping at the bit to do stuff, Petch, but they might not know like what it is that they should be doing. January's kind of a quite chaotic time. You might be thinking, should I send emails out to people? Will they get them? Should I be writing to agents yet? Should I write to casting directors? Am I going to get lost in this, sort of abyss of just this whole tsunami of emails that are getting sent out? So we wanted to look at five things to kickstart your acting career in January, particularly in January 2025. And we'll put a caveat on it, Petch, because we're big on email, but we're not going to talk about email and casting directors today. Yeah, that's not what we're going to say as one of the things. Yeah,
no, exactly. Like, I think I was talking to you earlier this week, and I'm exactly in that kind of same position now. It's like, what do I do with myself?
Yeah,
it's January, it's the new year, it's the whole new year, new me thing. I want to feel proactive and productive, and I want to start the year the way that I mean to carry on. And we are massive on writing to casting directors. Like, should I be doing that right now? But I know that every actor and the dog, cat, goldfish will be writing to casting directors at this time as well. Are they going to get overwhelmed, or do you know what I mean? It's like, so what else can we be doing in our careers right now to further our career, so that come February, when the emails have died down a little bit, we can get back to writing to casting directors and it's game on as usual.
Well, we're going to discuss it all, what it is that you can do. I feel like I cut this comment short. Lisa, we will answer questions at the end of this, by the way, Lisa. You said, hi, guys, I'm new on Spotlight, can't seem to get an agent. We'll talk about that for sure. We'll do some Q&A at the end of this session, definitely. And we will, Happy New Year, Carl. We will keep bringing comments up and stuff. Well, Petch, that's your job. You're producer. You can bring comments up when you think it's appropriate. I'm just taking over there. So yeah, we'll dive into some of these 5 points, and we'll do Q&A as well. We'll try and help people, just go into the weekend strong. We're all about practical Optimism at actonthis.tv. You know, not delusion and just sort of, if I just think of everything's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. Like, I'm all about making positivity louder, but let's look at things in this industry from a practical perspective. What actually can you take action on in your career? Small little bite-sized things that compound over a week, over a month into big things. And as I said, I'm really optimistic about this year, Petch. I think there's going to be so much more production happening within TV. Well, I know there is. It's not even a think. I know there is. There's an awful lot of stuff going into production in 2025 and 2026. So it'll be
over on X. I run a self-tape challenge. Petch's hashtag Petch's self-tape challenge, and as I was getting ready for that, because I launched it this week, I was seeing so many actors already in the first week of January getting so many self-tapes as it is. I know members of our community have had like 2 self-tapes already. I've not had one, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, I've not had any yet, don't worry. I'm in the exact same boat as you.
It's fine. But we're only a week in.
Yeah, but I am seeing quite a few people like starting this year with self-tape auditions already. It's like it's already a better year than the whole of last year. It's still week 1.
It is definitely feeling much more optimistic. So let's dive in then into point number 1. This is a slightly biased point, right? Because I want to give you guys so much value, and we're actually doing something next week that's just going to give you loads of value and loads of direction, and it's something that you can do to really genuinely kickstart your career this year. And we're running something next week. It's completely free of charge. And this is for non-members of actonthis.tv, and it's for members of actonthis.tv. Doesn't matter if you've got a membership already or you haven't. It's completely free of charge. There's 500 places available, but as of time of recording, around 450 have already been taken. So you've still got, you know, a bit of time to get a place. But we're running something next week. Let me share this with you now on screen. We're running something called the Act On This Acting Career Accelerator. Version 3, it's version 3, the 3rd iteration of this that we've done. 5-day challenge, okay? And if you go right now, if you're watching live or on the recording, to actonthis.tv / I'll put it in the chat here. Hopefully that'll go through to where people are tuning in. actonthis.tv / challenge, you'll see this page here, and you can get a free place on this. Basically, every single day next week, we're going to give you one feature that's normally part of our membership, one, you know, really, really good coaching session, a couple of hours long each time. It's a recorded session with one of the biggest casting directors, the biggest agents, the biggest directors, or the biggest actors in the industry. It starts on Monday, and then you're going to get one of these features Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We've got a Facebook group. Oh, is that you? Is that my audio at your end, Petch?
Yeah, it was coming through twice there.
Oh, right.
It's fine. I saw it.
With so actonthis.tv / challenge. It starts on Monday. You can go reserve a place now. You still have to register on Monday. I'll send you an email all about it though. But actonthis.tv / challenge. We start on day 1. It's a pre-recorded session. This is all pre-recorded. You'll have the whole week to catch up on it. You don't need to be there live, but we are going to have a Facebook group running alongside this as well, where I will be going live in that Facebook group to give extra coaching for free. But we're going to start off on show reels on day 1 with, in my opinion, the best show reel producer in the UK, Mr. Chris Stone. We're going to look at landing an agent with an incredible agent. Well, 2 agents, actually. George Padfield, Alex Priestley from Alex Priestley Talent. Wednesday, we're going to look at getting your first TV role or your next TV role with head of Hollyoaks casting, Mr. Peter Hunt. He's head of casting at Line Pictures, where they do Hollyoaks. We've got an incredible session on Thursday with Kelly Valentine Hendry, the casting director behind Bridgerton, Rivals, other massive, massive stuff. That's looking at creating consistent casting opportunities for you this year in 2025. And we're finishing the week off with a really fantastic podcast that we recorded with a great actress you'll know from Grantchester, Life. She's starring loads of stuff, Melissa, Coronation Street, Melissa Johns. Really, really interesting story. Like really different. Like it shows how you can turn real adversity into advantage. So it's designed to basically take you through a blueprint really of getting ready to smash this year. Let's get your show reel sorted. Let's get your agent situation sorted. Let's get all of that stuff in front of casting directors that can give you opportunity. And then when it comes to sort of mindset and motivation and just turning adversity over into advantage, getting over roadblocks, that session on Friday is going to be, you know, an awesome one. So actonthis.tv / challenge. It's completely free. Those features are normally part of the paid membership at actonthis.tv. They've cost me thousands of pounds to produce. Just because they're free doesn't mean you shouldn't take them seriously. It's just going to be a really, really good week, isn't it, Petch? We do this every January. What's it like?
It's a lot of hard work. I think people come in really excited. And then, you know, the questions are designed to be challenging. It's meant to challenge you. It's meant to be for the people who are really wanting to take their career seriously going into 2025. But by the end of it, the amount of positive feedback we get from people all year round, they'll come back to us and they're like, I did that accelerator that you did at the beginning of the year, and it totally changed my year for me. It's amazing.
No, it is genuinely really, really good. This is probably the best version of this we've done as well. They're 5 of the best features we've ever given away for free. You know, as part of the challenge, the accelerator. Normally, like, you know, it's only part of the paid membership at actsonthis.tv. So that's number one. Ultimately, I'm just being selfish in a way, but I'm being selfish to be selfless to you guys. I'm promoting what we're doing just because I know it's so valuable. So whether you're a member of actsonthis.tv right now or not, get yourself over to that URL now, actsonthis.tv/challenge. And reserve your place. I can see people notifications coming through, so people are doing that already. And then we kick off on Monday. So what will happen, just very quickly, on Monday, you're still going to have to go back to this page, but your place will be reserved. So don't worry, you're guaranteed a place if you do it now. You still have to go back to this page from 9 a.m. on Monday morning just to get some login details, basically, to actually officially enroll in it. But I'll send all that stuff through via email. So right now you're reserving a place. And then on Monday, you're going to enroll properly by going back to this page. But get yourself over there right now. So that was point number one. Now we're going to go into other stuff that's not just to do. That's not just to do with us, you know, and that's on this.tv. So what other things can we do then to push our acting career forward in January to get ready for a great year that doesn't involve emailing casting directors? The first thing we're going to look at, Petch, is something that I'm like super impressed that you've done as well, because you've put this into practice this week. You know, you've stepped up, you've stepped out your comfort zone a little bit, and you've now registered to go and attend a new acting class that you've never been to before. And this is point number one. Like, let's get ourselves doing things we didn't do last year. I would recommend people take a new workshop with someone you've never been to before. It just needs to be a one-off thing in January. That's all, just one for this month. Or enroll in a class. What have you done, Petch, to give people some inspo?
So when I moved to Manchester a few years ago, I did a couple of the classes. I did about 3 or 4, and I found them really useful. And I was thinking at the start of this year, because I've not been to a class for ages, and I preach about it to everyone. It's like, you should be going to classes. You
keep your soul sharp, keep your craft up your craft.
The Americans, I'll take my hat off to the Americans, because if they're not doing anything, they are in class. That's drilled into them. And I thought I was being productive, being part of Act On This all this time. But, you know, again, like you said there, you got to keep your skills sharp. You've got to go to the gym and work out and stuff like that. So I was like, I got into a bit of a rut last year. I hadn't acted as much as I wanted to. So I thought, right, I'm going to go and do another class. So I looked at the classes that I'd already done, because it's safe, it's familiar, I know it, I know what I'm going to get. And then I was talking to a member of our community, great actor, Josh Chadwick. Shout out to you, Josh. Landed 2 TV roles recently, absolutely crushing it at the moment. I was like, well, what are you doing? Because I see you going from strength to strength to strength. And I've seen that his confidence just get better and better and better.
I have.
What are you doing? And he told me about his acting class. Anthony Crank, Manchester Television Workshops, I think it's called.
Yep.
And yeah, I was like, fine, yeah, sign me up. So I got in touch with Anthony. And after a bit of a discussion, because do you know what I found, Ross, since doing this?
Go on.
Everybody is doing something acting related on a Tuesday or a Thursday. There's loads of acting classes that only offer classes on a Tuesday or a Thursday. And obviously we do our sessions on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So I was like, well, I can't do any of them because I'm needed for work. But luckily Anthony had a spot free for me on Monday, and yeah, signed up, and that's what I'm doing.
Nice. And we have got some bloody cracking sessions coming up on Tuesdays and Thursdays in January, folks. If you do enjoy that free accelerator that I just put out there, and you want to become a full-time member of Acts On This, it's dirt cheap. It's like £6 a week. Best value in the industry. We've got some massive casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers all throughout January, all throughout February. Guests that have never been on before. We just booked Shiraz Ahmed, the casting director for All Creatures Great and Small. He's never really done anything publicly before when it comes to kind of like, you know, in-depth kind of workshops, or I mean, we focus on the business of the business, really. Like, you know, we're going to focus on how you get in front of Shiraz, you know, ultimately what he wants to see from you, how you can email him, we'll give his email address away, what he needs to see from your show reel. We really drill down into the business side of this business. I won't teach anybody how to act. That's why Petch is going to an acting class. Otherwise you can just do it here, but we drilled out in the business. But we've got some banging sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it does seem to be the two nights of the week where, like, you know, like everybody's doing something in this industry. So you're doing Monday, Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night, 6:30. If you go to that class, please be gentle with me. It's been a while since I've been to a class.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what? Since I left drama school, oh god, I'm going way back as well, at 2005. I probably did classes for 10 years. And I mean, I just, you know, obviously I get my practice in self-tapes and luckily on set, but you can never really rest on your laurels, can you? Because you know, that's something that I should do. I was quite inspired when you went, yeah, I've just booked that. I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just book something as well. We should just take over Anthony Crank's television workshop on a Monday night.
Do it.
He's a bloody good actor, that guy, as well. Like, really good. The character he plays in Corrie is excellent. He's had a lot of experience. So yeah, keep us posted on that. Linda's signed up for the accelerator. Nice one, Linda. actonthis.tv/challenge. Go get your place, folks. It's totally free. Want to see you there on Monday. And let us know, in the chat, if you are, you know, planning on taking, you know, a new class, or just ultimately doing something different this year. You know, maybe get, you know, as I said, get involved in our membership at actonthis.tv. Come to the weekly sessions that we do on Zoom. You can take part from the comfort of your own home, but you've got to get out there and just do something, either online or in person, that's different. If you want a different result to last year, it could just be a one-off workshop this month. You know, not everybody's got like all the money in the world to do a class every week or something like that. So maybe it's just like, you know, I'm going to book one workshop for the end of this month. There's some great workshop providers out there. We love Just Add Milk, Jam. They're a great, you know, really, really value-led workshop provider. They get great casting directors in, you know, casting assistants, casting associates. They're really reasonably priced. They're all about 30 quid. I'm not one for, you know, going in for these workshops that are like 80 quid, 100 quid. I just think some of them are just real cash cows. Act On This, like I say, 6 quid a week. Probably pay that for a latte and a piece of cake from Costa. And we bring the biggest people in, you know, from the industry. But yeah, get out and do something new.
CMA as well, Craft Masters Acting.
Yeah. Shout out to, George Bakari, Majid. I can never remember everybody's names there, but yeah, Craft Masters Acting. They do workshops, weekend workshops, actually. They're full weekend, just a Saturday and a Sunday, in Manchester and London. They bring in real top draw directors to work with. It's kind of classical training in a way. George went to the same drama school as me, so he's kind of classically trained. And I think a lot of the stuff that we learn at drama school, he implements into Craft Masters Acting as well. Great actor himself, works on loads of great TV shows. And it's 85 quid, mate, for the whole weekend. 85 quid for not just for 2 hours, like, you know, loads of other places are charging for the whole weekend. So yeah. Oh, Jenny's here. Go on, read that out, Petch.
I go to Anthony Crank's. He's amazing. Started up again this month after having time away from my business. He is brilliant.
Anthony, you need to start sending us some commission, mate. We're clearly just bigging his classes up now. But yeah, I love that, Jenny. That's wicked.
And Grace Batman has got a workshop tomorrow with Hollyoaks casting director. Never met her before, so that's Jill Charnock.
Jill Charnock, yeah.
Performing a new piece I've written on Monday in London. Never done that either. Love the energy. Well done, Grace. Nice, Grace. Yeah, it's getting out your comfort zone, isn't it? We're gonna look at this in another point later on in one of these 5 points, actually, because it is really, really important. You know, to, as I say, to step up, do things bigger, go bigger than you went last year. It doesn't mean you go overwhelming and go, right, I'm going to do 10 new classes and 100 workshops, and I'm going to write my own play this year, and I'm going to do a one-person show in Edinburgh. Let's just choose one cool thing a month that we haven't done before, you know. And if that's a class for this month, I think that's a good place to start. So that was point number 1. Get out there, take a new class, or it can just be a one-off workshop, right? You know, book yourself a block or just do a one-off thing. Just get yourself out in front of fresh people who you've not met before. Because that was the thing when I used to go to a class every week, Petch. I went to Act for TV that I really can recommend, Act for TV. Michael Jackson from Beverly Keogh Casting runs Act for TV. But it became, after sort of 4 years, it became a little bit kind of like so comfortable, like a youth club. It's almost like I'm going to meet my mates and we're just going to go and, you know, yes, we're acting, we're having fun.
what I find, and I know you'll find this, when you go to Anthony's class for the first time, you're going to have a point to prove to everyone else in that class that you're good. Because, well, I mean, this is how I feel about it anyway. Maybe I'm just competitive and weird, but I feel like I've got to go in and put my stamp on that class to go, hey, you know, there's competition, there's hierarchy within this industry. There just is, right? That's just the way it works. You've got actors who work up here, actors who work in the middle, actors who are just starting out. You know, it doesn't mean anyone's better than you as a person, but there were people with more experience, you know, who are just more accomplished artists ultimately. You know, Jenny, who was up there, is an incredible painter. What do you call them?
Artist.
Drawer. Just an artist, yeah. But
she's a brilliant artist.
Yeah, but you use the word artist for everything, don't you? Like musicians are artists and stuff, but she's an actual artist.
But an art, like a painter, is an artist.
Yeah, Jenny's like a real artist. Yeah, you know, she's incredibly accomplished. So if I went to a class with Jenny, she's just going to be better than me. I mean, as I say, better as a person. She's just better. She's just more talented than I am. And that's the same at classes. You want to go in and almost sort of like stamp your mark on that class to a certain extent to go, this is where I am. This is where I fall in the pack. You want to impress people. You're not ultimately going to sit back like you would do if you knew everybody and you were dead comfortable. That's my point here, is that you're going to push yourself, aren't you?
Going to give Jenny a bit of a plug here. If you want to learn how to paint and draw and things like that, Jenny actually does teach. So Ross, if you want to be as good as Jenny, take one of her classes.
It's not my thing, Jen, to be honest with you. I ain't got time, but I'm very happy for you I'll commission you and you can draw me some pictures. But yeah, it's that mentality when you go to a new class, and that's why I think it helps you grow. It's like when the first time you ask somebody you don't know in the gym to spot you put in so much more effort because you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of that person. You don't want to end up with the weights on your chest and on your neck and strangling you. You know, if I got you to spot me, Petch, I'm probably going to feel more relaxed about it than if I got a stranger, because I'm going to go, right, well, if I fail in front of Petch, it's all right. If I fail in front of this person, I'm just going to feel a bit more embarrassed. So that's what I like about going to.
I'll record you and put it all over the internet. So.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll get you back though. Right. So that's point number 1. Right. Get out there, get a class done. It's point number 3.
Point 2
in it. Yeah. Point 2. First was get on Act On This Acting Career Accelerator. actonthis.tv/challenge. Point number 2, go to a workshop or class. Point number 3. This is something as well that people are scared of, Petch, but this is to have a chat with your acting agent this month, right? And don't be afraid. You're a business partner with your agent to create a 2025 plan. How many people come to us, Petch, shit scared, part of my French, of doing this? We get people posting in our community, sending us emails going, oh, I've not had an audition from my agent, you know, in 6 months. Tapes aren't coming through. I don't know if they're subbing me for the right kind of things. And we said, well, when was the last time you spoke to them? Oh, I haven't. I don't want to you know, encroach on their time. They're your business partner. So what would you have to say about this, Petch? Because this is something I'm doing. It's something I'm doing with my agent Kat this month, and I'm taking Prosecco to sweeten the deal. But because I didn't give it for Christmas, but that's all. I wouldn't normally take alcohol. But go on, Petch. What have you got to say on this?
No, I totally agree. I think it is one of those things that actors do put off for whatever reason it is. They're scared. I think that's a massive factor in this, is that they're scared that their agent, I don't know, might even drop them. They haven't spoke to their agent for so long that they think that their agent has forgotten that they're there, and they don't want to remind them that they're there and go, oh, well, you haven't worked, I'm going to drop it. It's not the case. They've taken you on for a reason. As Ross said, they are your business partner. So you are both striving for the exact same result, the exact same outcome. And remember, if you're not working, your agent isn't getting paid. So obviously they want you to work. And I just think it's a good time now to like get really focused, like you would do it on yourself at the end of the year. I know actors, we did this course where we go through goal setting and things like that, but I think it's a good time to do that with your agent at the beginning of the year as well, because then you can go, what more can I be doing to further my career? What are you doing to further my career? Are we working in tandem with each other? Are we at odds with each other? Can we get more streamlined? These are the roles and shows that I want to do and want to be in. What more can you do to push me in them? Is there anybody that you think I need to write to that I haven't introduced myself properly to yet? And you can just get this, you can come at it from 2 points of, what is it, like a pincer kind of attack. That's
two-pronged
the way I see
two-pronged
it.
attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two-pronged
So
attack.
yeah, so you're working a lot of actors I feel work against their agent because they're not communicating with them. So it's not that you're doing anything purposefully, but say your agent's subbing you for something and you're not getting your subs list from your agent, or your agent doesn't want to give you your subs list. That's another conversation all of its own. You should be able to ask for your subs list from any decent agent and they should be happy to give it you. I've interviewed agents for 14 years on actonthis.tv. I haven't come across one great agent, because I only interview really good agents, bar one. I will caveat, we had one rogue agent at one point that will go, it's like Voldemort, will never be named again. But we didn't know. I've interviewed 950 people, right? But 99.9% of them have been fantastic agents when we've had agents on. There's not a single one that said I wouldn't give my clients their subs list. And your subs list is really just what they're putting you forward for on Spotlight. They can print it out as a PDF and just send it to you via email to say, hey, over the last 3 months, you've been subbed for all these projects. It'll tell you the casting director that was casting the project, the name of the project. And you can put little patterns together and go, oh, okay, right, I've been submitted for Daniel Edwards 4 times. He hasn't seen me. So I should take my end of the bargain up and I should write to Daniel. I should send him my show reel, introduce myself, sell myself well in a very, concise, well put together email. That's what we teach people to do at Act On This. And it pays dividends. I noticed Jay in our fast track group this morning had written to Peter Hunt at Hollyoaks and got a lovely reply back from him saying, I love what you sent me, basically bearing in mind for, for stuff that's coming up this year. So you want to be talking to your agent, basically. If your agent's subbing you for stuff, you could be working against your agent in a way by not writing to those people that they're subbing you for, because you can do your half of the bargain basically, and just you promote yourself to them, they're promoting you to them, and together you're getting more exposure effectively. It will lead to more opportunity.
And hopefully you've already had this conversation when you got signed, or when you went into partnership with your agent, but maybe you didn't, and you realize that your agent is subbing you things for things that you really don't want to do.
And just hands up, that was me 11 years ago. One of the first thing I ever went for was physical theatre. I hate physical theatre. I was scared to tell Jane, don't put me forward for theatre. I only want to do TV because I thought she'd drop me, because I was young and naive and I had no idea that I had the power for what I want to do in my career.
I mean, I'm vegan. I don't know if I've told you that, Ross. I'm vegan.
I don't think he's ever mentioned that. Not 100 times a day.
That. But so there are certain things that I won't do. I won't be in an advert that's promoting any meat products or harm to animals in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't fit right with me ethically. So you've got to have that honest conversation with your agent. And if you're being subbed for things that you really feel don't align with you, or you don't feel that role is your type, then have that conversation now.
Or you're just getting subbed for commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial, and you just really want to do drama, and your agent isn't subbing you, for those first kind of day player TV roles in serial drama and stuff. That's a conversation you need to have. There's nothing wrong with commercials, but there's way more people up for commercials than there are for serial drama. A day player role on Corrie or Emmerdale or EastEnders or whatever, you might be up against 6 people. That's it.
Yeah.
And it'll pay, Hollyoaks for 14 words. You might be up against 6 people that'll pay you £1,000, right? A commercial, I mean, the fees are getting a bit better. Some are very, very good, but some aren't very good. You might be up against 300 people for a 500 quid job. This is a business. It's not all about the money, but in a way, it's kind of all about the money, because the one thing that actors tell me they've got the least of is money and time. And money buys time. It's not obviously
wasting time doing something that they don't want to do for money that isn't that good.
Yeah. So it's like, speak to your agent, go, listen, I'm so appreciative of all the commercials you've subbed me for, but I really want to, get into drama this year, bit of comedy. These are the casting directors of these shows that I know I would love to be in. I feel fit me authentically as my casting type. What can we do together to get on the radar of these casting directors? There's so much you can do yourself, by the way. I mean, that's what we teach people at actonthis.tv. We have casting directors on every single week practically, and they will give you their personal email address, and we tell you exactly what it is that you need to send to them, how to write your emails, what it is that they need to see from you. But there's loads you can do yourself. But with an agent as well, you can be doubly as effective. So have that conversation this month. That's point number 3. The thing that you can do to kickstart your career this year in 2025 in January is book a 30-minute, even a 15-minute conversation with your agent, ideally in person, but if you live miles away, Zoom's fine, you know, or the phone, doesn't matter. But just, I feel you just feel more in control of your career, don't you, Petch, when you're actually feel you're steering the ship, as opposed you're just out there and the waves are taking you whatever direction they feel like taking you in.
I feel I think a lot of actors, no one on this call really, but I feel like a lot of people do just sit there waiting for the phone to ring. Their sole purpose was to get an agent, and all that work that they're putting in getting that agent, they go, right, that's it, my agent is now in charge of absolutely everything, and they'll just sit back and either not work or be put up for things that they're not really happy for, and then they'll complain that they're not in the position that they want to be in because they're not taking control of their own career.
Yeah, no, you are so much more in control if you take hold of the steering wheel than you think you are. I just love this comment I saw Cordelia put on there. I've only seen jobs for 10 grand upwards, but never done advertisements or work for that kind of money. Cordelia, this could be the year. You know, a 10 grand advert, I'll happily do a tape for.
I'll take that. Yeah. That's a deposit on a house.
yeah, that's fine. But you know, there's I think there's more of that coming around. But there was a time, you know, over that period that shall never be named a few years ago, where we weren't allowed out of the house. Don't say the word on YouTube, Petch, it will limit us. But yeah, there were times where like money was getting pretty abysmal in advertising. That's just because advertising was being cut. I think money is coming back, but ultimately, yeah, you are a business. You know, you really are. You are your own business. Yes, you get into this industry because you love performing, you love acting, but love alone cannot pay your mortgage. And you know, we empower actors within our community to actually earn money from their career. So so it is a really, really important thing to do in January. Have that conversation with your agent. Get clear on where you want to head, basically what direction you want to head in, the sort of shows, the roles you want to be put up for, and just make sure you're on the same page. So so get that done and let us know in the chat if you're going to do that. That was point number 3. Point number 4. Right, I sent an email. Thank you so much, by the way. If you're on the Act On This email list, really appreciate you. I sent an email to 10,000 actors on the email list yesterday. If you're not on it, by the way, go to actonthis.tv/challenge. Enroll in this free challenge that's going on next week, and you'll automatically be enrolled on our email list as well. You'll get access to all the emails that I send out, telling you about all our weekly features with the biggest names in the game, and just nice emails that I like to send out to people. But I sent an email out yesterday, Paige. This is really cool. And I just said, listen, right, I want to get to know people on our email list better, because you know what pisses me off and what I've thought is actually really, really important for us as a company this year? I think last year, obviously, I was sending emails out every single week telling people about the amazing guests that we have on every single week and inviting people to those calls. But every email I sent out was that, really. It was kind of like, look what we've got on this week. Come and join us. Come and join us. And I thought, I don't really know like the people on my list. I want to feel like I've got more of a personal relationship. There's so many companies in this industry that will just blast you every day with buy my shit, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. As opposed to, how can I help you? How can I give you value? And I want to be that person that's like, right, I want to know who's on my email list. So I sent an email out yesterday saying, listen, drop me through a reply. And I just want to know, what's the number one issue you're facing in your career right now? Basically, you know, what's the biggest roadblock you're facing? Why do you think it is that you're maybe not with the right agent that you want to be with? You're not getting auditions and you're not working on the TV shows that you like to work on? I've had hundreds of replies. So thank you so much for that. And one of the things that came up, there was 2 things actually that I'm going to talk about here within these points. The first theme almost of people's issues, they were saying the thing that they feel is holding them back right now is self-taping. And it's a bit of a two-pronged thing here as well, Petch.
Just before you move on to that, Haley has said, I replied yesterday to your email. Good to
Haley, I've seen it. Haley, I've seen it. And I am going to reply personally to every single email. Now, it will take me weeks to do it because there's over 200 that have come through already. But I will. I said, I promised you when I said, if you reply, I'll reply. I'm a man of my word. I will reply. And Haley, I've seen your email because I just recognized your headshot there. You're on my Gmail, your headshot came up when you replied. I've skim read all of them just to look at the themes that were coming up. And a big theme was self-tapes. Now, it comes from two sides, this. The first thing was, I feel the tech when it comes to self-tapes is holding me back. So I don't feel confident setting up the camera, maybe, you know, lighting. I don't know if I've got a decent camera or decent microphone. Basically, I don't know if the technical specification and the production values of my self-tapes are good enough. So I feel that's holding me back. And the other side of it is I'm getting tapes, but I'm just not booking them. So maybe I'm not booking the job. So maybe it's my performance. I feel that the tech side's all right, but I'm just not confident enough recording self-tapes on my own. I'm struggling to get a reader. I'm struggling, to know what takes to pick. I'm struggling, like uploading it. I don't know, all these kind of things. It feels like there's quite a lot of resistance to self-tapes, almost because people feel that, oh, well, maybe it'll all just go back to in the room, and it won't. Okay, we for the last 12 months, every casting director that's coming out on this has said, listen, self-tapes are here to stay. The first round of auditions are always going to be tapes forevermore. Never going to change. Recalls will be in the room. You'll get to go in the room and work with the director.
Unless holograms come into play, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what? At some point, will they, mate? We'll be doing them VR, won't we? We'll all have like an Oculus headset on or something, and we'll be doing them in virtual reality. But for now, yeah, it's going to be self-tapes. So I would really implore people in January now, before the year gets going, like, although you said people are already getting tapes now in week 1, but before the year really picks up, because it really will, by the end of quarter 1, I promise you, there's going to be an awful lot to audition for, because there's more productions going into, productions going into production this year than there will have been for many years. There was more commissions made last year. We kept banging on about this last year, didn't we, Petch? But more commissions for Netflix last year and Amazon than any other year in their entire existence. So there's going to be a ton of work available this year and next year. We'll pick up towards the sort of the end of the first quarter of this year. So get, ready to tape. Basically, if your kit needs a bit of an overhaul and you want to know, sort of like how you can upgrade that, we even have a kit list, don't we, Petch? If you go to actonthis.tv/self-tape, you can download the kit list for free that Petch and I use for our self-tapes. And I think, we're pretty good at them. Our self-tapes look good. We book jobs off our tapes. The year before last, I couldn't stop booking jobs. Last year was a bit different. The tapes still look good, but wasn't booking a lot last year. There's a lot more competition, I feel. But yeah, our tapes look good. actonthis.tv/self-tape. You can download this kit list for free, and it's got the lights we use. It's got the tripod we use. It's got a microphone, a lavalier microphone that's affordable, but sounds really, really good. You're just going to stand out for the right reasons when it comes to production values. And then if it's, your performance that you're worried about, again, like, sort out in January, a group that you're going to, maybe form to read in for each other. If you, again, I don't want to just keep flogging you Acts on This, but if you join the Acts on This community, we actually have a private like message board within the website where you can request a self-tape reader at any moment, and people are just on hand and they'll just go, yeah, I'll read in for you on Zoom or whatever. But if you're not going to do that, have a look at just, getting a group of 3 or 4 of you together, in January now to go, this year, we'll all read in for each other, right? Maybe form a WhatsApp group or something. We have a member of our community, again, that's got a WhatsApp group, Olivia, who, our members can jump into, and they can just text in that WhatsApp group. So go, guys, I've got a last minute self-tape. I need a reader. But ultimately, yeah, get on top of your self-tape game in January. You actually run a self-tape service, Petch. You record self-tapes for people. What would you say are the things that people fall down at when they're doing tapes on their own, and why they want to come to you? I don't mean like why we're not selling you. I just mean like why people go, oh, you just do it for me, Petch, because I can't do it. What are their limiting beliefs?
The first thing is overwhelm. It's a lot of, I've got to set this up, and setting up your self-tape kit can take a while, especially if you've got like a load of lights and you've got your backdrop, and it's you're restricted in where it is that you can film. You don't know what angle to get the lights, how to light yourself properly. You don't know where to put the camera. Should it be high up? Should it be low down? You don't have the right equipment is something, because I see people balancing their camera or their phone on books or a makeshift kind of tripod, and then people get stressed out. Usually they don't have the right kind of reader. I think people who ask their family, the family have got all the best intentions in the world to help you out, but they don't understand the life of an actor. They don't understand that, you're going to get it wrong. You're going to fluff. You're going to corpse sometimes. You're going to forget your lines. So they want your family member wants it done quickly, or they're not delivering it right to you, or they feel self-conscious reading in front of the partner or the mum and dad or the brother, sister, or best friend or anything like that. So the performance is all skewed. Basically, people come to me when they just want to focus on the acting, and everything else is done for them. Like the editing's done, everything else, the equipment set up, I'll frame you properly and things like that. And it's just because I've got the knowledge in how to do that. And I think people are questioning themselves on their own ability to be able to do that themselves. So instead of focusing on the performance, they're focusing on the setup and like what comes afterwards rather than the performance, and they just want to get the performance out of the way. Like that's kind of like low down on their priority list. They think they know the lines. Most of you do know your lines. You know your character, so you think you can just bang it out in one take and that's it. Thank God it's done. Whereas if you focus more on the performance, what we do, I think, is really, really good when we're setting up. We go over the lines and everything. That's our rehearsal time at that point.
Yeah, so I'll read in for Petch. Petch will read in for me. So again, we've just got like, you know, we've got an agreement that if we can, I'll read in for Petch anytime. He'll read in for me anytime, and that's what I mean. In January, sort this out with somebody, you know, or if you can, like a few people. So if someone's not available, you've got someone to call on, and you've got to obviously be there for them as well. But yeah, how we'll do our tapes basically is the setup does take a little while because you've got 3 lights to set up. We've got tripod, camera, backdrop. Microphone set up as well, and the camera. So it does take probably 25 minutes, 30 minutes to set up properly, frame it all. But while we're doing that, we will be running the lines, just line running, you know, not necessarily focusing on performance and emotion or anything like that. But we're getting the lines into our short-term memory. Because let's be honest, right? If you're auditioning for a TV show, it's normally 1 scene, 2 scenes. It's probably 3 to 4 minutes of dialogue max. Okay, so you can hold that generally when you get used to it in your short-term memory, and that might be something you want to do in January as well. Practice just holding things in your short-term memory. Just hammer out self-tape after self-tape just as practice. And then once we're happy with the setup, we know we've got the lines down, then you can actually focus on performance, because we've seen a lot of people putting more effort into their setup than they have their performance. So it might look great, but the performance is very obvious ultimately, you know, quite generic sometimes, and just doesn't really, just a bit vanilla. And you know, sometimes just having that little edge and just thinking that little bit more about your performance is the thing that's gonna, you know, is gonna get you the job ultimately.
Ideally, what you'd have, and in an ideal world we would all have this, is one spare room where the self-tape kit is set up
full time. Yeah.
And all you do is you walk in, you get your reader in, or you dial in on Zoom, you do your audition, you take it out, you edit it, and gone. And that's the ideal. But life isn't ideal. It's, you know, it's working around all these obstacles that come in. And it's kind of going back to the acting class. What I would recommend everybody do is do a week of every night you do a self-tape. And it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be annoying. But when you get that last minute self-tape, having that practice of setting it all up, doing it and striking it down, it'll just become easier. Yep. So as you said there, our setup takes about 23 minutes. But the first time we did it
23 minutes. 23, that's very precise. 23 minutes, did you say?
That's what you said.
Then 25, didn't I? 20, I mean,
23, 25.
I'm not signing it to 23 minutes, but it might be exactly 23 minutes. But yeah,
it doesn't take us that long. But when we first did it, it took us over an hour. And then when we added extra bits to it, that took us a bit of time just to play around with it and get it right. But now that we know what we're doing, because it's second nature, it's up, it's done, and it's down. Because we know what we do. It's like
none
breathing,
of us,
it's like driving a car.
Neither of us had that knowledge before we did. So what you said before is, you know, you can do it now because you've got that knowledge. That's why people will come to you to film their tapes. You weren't born with it, and you weren't trained by anybody else. We just learned it literally by trial and error, going, right, what happens if we put the light here? What if we bounce the light off this part of the wall? You know, how do we light this side of you? Maybe you want to light the front of you, you know, if you're facing, you know, like the front of your face slightly different to the side. Maybe put a little bit of shadow if you want to create a little bit of drama. It's just messing around, isn't it? Just trying stuff out until you go, oh yeah, that works. That's okay. So I would implore people, use January.
And then once you know what it is that you're doing, it's the same every time. It's like going shopping for the first time in a new supermarket. You don't know where everything is. It takes you ages to find what you want, but after you've gone to the same supermarket like 3-4 times, you're in and out because you know exactly where you're going.
Unless it's Sainsbury's down here, just outside my apartment, in which case they seem to just change it all around every sort of like 3 months, and I go, right, it's going to take me 2 minutes, and I get so frustrated, particularly if I've gone in without my contact lenses in. I can't even read the shelves. I'm like, I knew where the milk was. I knew where the blueberries were. Now look what you've done. So
you made me buy orange juice.
Honestly, yeah, Sainsbury's, stop it. I think what they do. Let me know if you work for Sainsbury's, anyone in there. But I reckon they do it so that you have to look for stuff in the hope you'll see stuff you've not bought before and go, oh, we'll have some of that as well. It doesn't work for me. I hate it. I want to buy less. So I want to give you less money because you've inconvenienced me. Whereas if you just made it simple, I would probably spend more. But yeah, that's point number 4. We went on quite a bit there. But yeah, self-tapes. Let's get on top of your self-tape game. And again, anyone who is a member of actonthis.tv, let me just show you where to go if you want some help when it comes to getting a reader for your tapes. Let me just share.
And whilst you're just bringing that up, I have just written a self-tape ebook that we are going to be releasing on Act On This at some point soon. So get yourself that.
Yeah, we'll send that out for free. This is actonthis.tv. If you are an actor and you want to work more in TV, you want to earn money from your career, please come and join us. Dirt cheap, coaching every single week with the biggest actors, agents, casting directors, writers, directors, producers in the game. But if I go to, do you know what? I bet I'm not logged in with a premium membership. This is just for the Accelerator challenge, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have a membership yet. Let me log in with a different username, and I'll just I'll show you guys if you're looking for. Do you know what? Any support, not even if you're just looking for a self-tape reader, if you're looking for any help at all with your career, literally 24/7, you can get support inside our community hub. But there is a section for self-tape stuff, so let's have a look. So this is the members area. What you would do, you would just click into this blue product here. It says community hub. I bet it's going to open in a new tab, isn't it? I want to open it in the same tab. It is it open in the same tab? Yeah, good. I guess so, because I'd have to share a different tab then. So this is community hub. I mean, it's buzzing all day every day. There's stuff going on here literally right now. We hold our meetups in here. We do monthly meetups. We do challenges in here. What's the challenge for this month, Petch? People can get involved in this challenge. Can't remember what it was.
Making it simple.
Oh yeah, simplifying for success. So yeah, I was like, listen, how can you make things simpler this year? What can you actually take away to make things, to actually have more success? Maybe you were spinning 1,000 plates last year. You were going to 3 acting classes a week, and actually, if you just focused on one decent one, that'll be better for you. So yeah, people are up for an Amazon gift card in there if they get the most popular answer to that. So they're the challenges. But in this section here, yeah, we've got where would we put it? Probably general chat. We should probably have we should get a self-tape circle in there, shouldn't we? We've got a show reel one, so you can basically go.
I thought we did have an auditions and self-tapes there.
Oh yeah. It's all right. Got it. I was going to say, I thought we should have one. Yeah, audition and self-tape. So if you needed help, what's Helen saying here? I got my first self-tape request and an availability check. Yes, Helen.
See?
Hi guys, happy New Year. Quick one. Does anyone line learning at? Someone's asking about there. So yeah, you'd literally just come in here and just say, guys, I've got a self-tape that needs to be in tomorrow. Anyone read in for me? And we've got 1,000 actors in our membership, and somebody would definitely be available 100%. So if you need any self-tape stuff or just any advice, any questions at all, if you are a member, just jump into the community hub there and ask. We are here for you. So that's point number 4. Point number 5. We're doing quite well for time, actually, aren't we? 10 to 5. We're good. Right. Point number 5 of the thing that you need to do to kickstart January in 2025. And this, if you don't get a hold on it, will stop you from actually taking action on anything else we've spoken about today. So you won't take part in the Accelerator Challenge. You won't have a chat with your agent. You won't go to an acting class. You'll do none of that because you'll be too afraid. And that is another theme that came up in these email replies that I got yesterday. It's mindset, Petch. People are getting in their own way. The amount of people that messaged me yesterday in reply to that email that said the number one roadblock that's stopping me getting to where I want to get to is me. I don't feel good enough. I don't feel confident enough. I don't feel this enough, that enough. All of these real limiting beliefs they have around themselves about whether they can and can't succeed. They're basically, somebody sent me a reply back and I was like, wow, you've just argued like 10 points about why you'll never be successful. There are at least 10 points you could argue for why you would be successful, but your mind's not focusing on those. You're focusing entirely on what's going to go wrong if you email that agent, what's going to go wrong if you shoot a self-tape, what's going to go wrong if you edit a new show reel, the rejection you'll get if you get an audition and you don't actually get the part, how you'll feel about that. You're focusing on all of the stuff that you really shouldn't be focusing on. All of the stuff
that doesn't mean that what you're doing is not natural, because our
Oh, it's
brains are
totally
wired
natural.
to look for that.
Negativity bias, we have it
Yeah.
built into our brains from birth to keep us alive. We basically, want to know all of the things that could hurt us, that could, lose us time, money, emotion. And it's totally natural, absolutely natural to feel that way. So what I want to do is I want people to really focus on themselves and just, really sort of, go in on themselves. Not in a bad way. I mean, like, go inside your head and just be like, where am I limiting myself right now? Do I really believe in my potential to have a great year in 2025? Because if I don't feel I've got the potential to have a good year this year, I am not going to take any action to get the results that I want. Or if I do take action, it's going to be small, it's going to be safe, it's going to be minimal. Thus, my results are going to be small and safe and minimal. And then I'll tell myself, oh, you see, yeah, I told you it's difficult for you. It wasn't going to work for you. And you'll believe like less in your potential. So you'll take less action. You'll get, even less results than you're getting right now. And this cycle will just go on and on until you go, hang on a minute. We like saying this, don't we, Petch? Look, I'm a human being. I'm designed naturally to get better through effort. If I can put effort into my career this year and myself, in many areas of your life, it can't all be about acting. Otherwise, I think you'd probably be some of the most dullest people I know just focus on acting. You've got to have a few things in your life, that fill you up, not just like obsession on acting. So you want to do other things that, that light you up. But yeah, if you really believed in your potential, and if I told you couldn't fail, what action would you take this year? Because you take a damn sight more action than you're probably taking now. If I said, listen, Petch, no matter what you do this year, that outcome you want, you're going to get it. So, so you're not going to fail, you are going to get, what do you want this year, Petch? What would be like a really good achievement for you acting wise? You've done a few TV jobs now. Like, what is it? A bigger role, a certain show? What would you want?
I'm torn either between getting more than one job in a year. So I've never gone a year with 2 TV jobs in the same year,
Yeah.
or going up to a bigger role. Yeah.
It's like a guest lead in like an episode of Casualty or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I said, actually, you know what, Petch, right, that's going to happen this year, right? You're not going to fail. You're going to get that, but you're going to have to take a lot of action. You'd be way more confident in the action that you're taking, as opposed to going, oh God, well, you know what? If I wrote to Roland Beckley and, maybe he's not going to watch my reel. Is there any point? He's the casting director, by the way, for Casualty, folks. And, what if I do get an audition and I don't get the part, or, I don't know, all these kind of limiting beliefs people have. Oh, I'm not that sort of person for that kind of show. I can't bother my agent, so I can't ask, my agent, if she could help me get in front of Roland and the team at the BBC. If you're full of limiting beliefs, you're going to take very little action. Whereas if you're like, you know what, like I stand just as much chance as anybody else. I see other people who look like me, sound like me, and in some cases, they've even had less experience than us. Get further. People are born with less than us, who end up having more than us in less time because they take more action. So it's like, what action are you going to take? But it's getting your mental game right. This is the big thing that people, just allow to stop them from getting to where they want to be. They allow their emotions to control them, as opposed to them controlling their emotions. And it's quite ironic, because as actors, that's what we should be doing. You should be in complete control of your emotions, because that's your job when you're on a set. And yet, how many people do we see whose emotions are in complete control of them? And it is hard, because that's natural. It's completely natural. It really is to go, hang on a minute, I'm going to take control of my life and my career, and I'm going to go out into the world and ask for what I want and what I think I deserve. It takes courage, man, and bravery. But 5 seconds of courage can change your life. Like, it really can. When you commit to something and you commit to these acting classes, Patch, you're gonna develop more capability. You're going to become more confident. You're going to meet other people. You don't know who Anthony might be able to introduce you to. Other people in the classes might be able to introduce you to. You might find out about stuff that's going on in the industry that you wouldn't find out about had you not been there, out of your comfort zone. So the 5th point really is mindset. Really have an honest, thought around where you're at when it comes to your belief system and your mental game, because it's a massive thing that holds people back. We run so it sounds like I'm just sales pitching on it. Because it's such a big thing, and I've been very obsessed with positive psychology for about 15 years now. we run a program called Bulletproof Actor, again, just once a year for 50 people, that drills down deep into this for a few months. It's quite a long program. Just ultimately helping you rewrite the story that you might have been living to this point that's probably been holding you back. You can go to bulletproofactor.com to find out about it. That'll be launching sometime first quarter of this year. But it is just important, listen to what other things can people do, Petch, this month? Like listen to inspiring podcasts. If you get involved in Acts on This, maybe. But there's loads of other stuff out there, just around personal development. I like the podcasts like The Diary of a CEO, Lewis Howes' School of Greatness, High Performance Podcast by... what's his name? Jake Humphreys, I think. Just put something positive in your ears every day, yeah?
100%. Read if listening to audio isn't in your thing. You were saying earlier about autobiographies and things like that. There's plenty of mindset books out there, self-help books out there. Watch documentaries, autobiographies. There's loads of stuff that you can be doing.
So yeah,
I think something I've just... No, carry on.
Go on.
No, it's something that's just... Yeah, no, something that's just really... I say dawned on me. I've known it for a while, but it's like we're not taught this in school. We're not taught this in life, really. Not for our industry either. Like any other industry, most working professions, if you were to work a 9-to-5 job at an office, say, there's a linear path, isn't there?
Yes.
You go in as trainee, then after you pass your probation, you're a bit further on in the career ladder. Then after a couple of years, you're a supervisor, then you're a manager, and there's a path that's clear from the get-go. From here, from A to B, like do this and you're gonna get there. Whereas in acting, it isn't like that at all. You could be here, and then the next day you could be down here again, completely out of work. Then you could have the day player role. Then you could be a guest lead. Then you could be without work again. Then you could be the lead again. It's like, it's getting your mindset around that. If you can conquer that, knowing that there's no straight path, then I think that will help you in good stead as well.
It's what Dan Ryan said, and we say it a million times, but the first time I heard it, I thought, God, you've got a really good point. Dan Ryan's a great actor. You'll know him from The Bay, Mount Pleasant, loads of stuff Dan's been in over the years. What was it with the police? It's just The Bay, isn't it? Yeah, that Dan's in. But really accomplished actor. And he said to me in one of the interviews we did with him for Acts on This members, he said, listen, on a Sunday night when I'm out of work, I get really excited because I don't know what's going to happen that week. A phone call, an email, a conversation, a chance meeting. He goes, could change everything, so actually make the chances of that louder and the excitement of that louder in your head than the fear of what if nothing happens, because, it's kind of like both are very easy to focus on, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And if you focus on the one that's going to empower you, even if, I like to feel that, let's just say, for instance, right, I'm really not, it's all an illusion. I'm really not in control of my life and my career, right? I still think it's more beneficial to believe that I can at least bend my reality, like at least I can. I feel if I believe that I can, even if the truth is I can't, I'm still going to do better. I'm going to enjoy the ride. It's going to be far more enjoyable that if I believe that, at least I feel that I'm in control, even if I'm not.
It's like getting on the roller coaster, isn't it? Like once you're in, you're strapped in. You're not in control of where that car,
even though you lean to the sides like you are driving. But yeah.
And you can either throw your hands up in the air, scream and have a jolly good time, or you can cry and scream, get me off. You're going to get to the same destination.
Do you know what? What? We're going off a mile, loads of tangents, aren't we? But this could be a good metaphor, right? I used to get on roller coasters because I think, oh God, I can't back down, but I don't like them at all. And I would close my eyes on the ride and it'd feel, I felt like that was me doing the right thing, but it'd feel awful. I'd feel so sick when I got off. The second I got on the roller coaster, I opened my eyes, looked in the direction it was throwing me, felt no sickness at all, and I started enjoying it. Yeah. So sometimes it's like, what, if you're on that roller coaster, open your eyes, face it full on, you'll probably enjoy it more, even if, it is a little bit hectic. I was going to say, when it comes to autobiographies, I've got a great guest coming up on Acts on This in the second quarter of this year. We like to book things quite far in advance. David Holmes. This is an incredible story. I don't know if people know a lot about this. I only heard about this just before Christmas. This book is his book called The Boy Who Lived. I'll read you the back of it. super like, it's a crazy story, but this is such an inspiring guy in terms of the way that he's faced this adversity in his life. It says the story of Harry Potter is about the triumph of light over dark, and that's a great motto to live by, but that really does take work, real work. We will all find ourselves in a tough place at one time or another, but it's up to us whether we actively seek out the light in these situations or settle for sitting in the dark. I learned early on that sitting in the dark only brings more darkness, but luckily the same is true for the light. If you look for it, it will find you. David was a stunt guy, Daniel Radcliffe stunt guy on Harry Potter during the films, and I think it was one of the Deathly Hallows films where a stunt went really wrong. And David ended up breaking his like vertebrae, and like I think he severed his spinal cord. Ultimately, ended up paraplegic. And that was young; he was in his 20s, man. And that's, you know, such a huge life-changing event. You know, you can't dress that up as anything else. That's going to be one of the most challenging things you can probably ever go through in your life. And I saw David's TED Talk before Christmas, and he was talking about this book that he's brought out. And I'm sure he's faced so many challenges, obviously, you know, since this has happened. But the way that he has faced it, I don't even want to use the word inspiring. I think sometimes people kind of go, "Oh, you're so inspiring." Yeah, when people like if there's a disability involved or something like that, it's just so kind of like, it is inspiring, but not just like, "Oh, okay, you've had this accident, you must be an inspiring person." Like, genuinely, the way that this guy has faced this and uses it for good to help other people, and he's still, you know, living his life in a different way now, but to the fullest that it could be in his circumstance, is incredible as an example of mindset and turning adversity into advantage. Like, this could be something that you could get as a book this month or on audio. I think the audio book comes out. I've pre-ordered it. I think it comes out this month, end of this month. But yeah, just in terms of someone who gets our industry, has worked in our industry, has faced an incredible challenge that I hope, you know, no one else here has to face. That, when it comes to mindset and just getting over these roadblocks, could be something that, you know, as a big unlock for you this year. So David's agreed to be a guest on Act On This second quarter of this year. So if you are a member, I can't wait for that session. But yeah, Google David Holmes, The Boy Who Lived. That's his book, and also watch his TED Talk. It's like a 20-minute TED Talk, I think, but it's superb, full of humor. He faces these challenges with a lot of humor. It's really, yeah, honestly, really, really good watch. So, so yeah, just mindset, I think, is really, really important. So to recap these 5 points, things to work on in January, that's not just emailing casting directors at the moment. And the reason we chose not to email casting directors, even though we're massive advocates of it, our members do it all the time. We teach people how to do it properly. Casting directors who come on, promote it, tell you their email addresses. It's just a chaotic month, January. I'm not telling you not to email people, because you should be doing that, but it's kind of pot luck when stuff lands, and, you know, lightning might strike and your email might end up in someone's inbox just at the right time. But a lot of people are going to be reaching out to people this month, so it's quite hit and miss, you know, whether people are going to actually receive your stuff and read it and things like that. So the things that we've chosen you to do, for you to do in January: 1, join the Act On This TV Acting Career Accelerator 5-day challenge that starts Monday. If you could put the URL up on the screen again, Petch, actonthis.tv/challenge. It's 10 hours of some of the best acting career coaching we have ever recorded for our members, completely free of charge for anyone who wants to take part. actonthis.tv/challenge. It includes coaching from Hollyoaks casting director Peter Hunt, Bridgerton casting director Kelly Valentine Hendry, agents like Alex Priestley and Georgia Padfield at Alex Priestley Talent, Chris Stone, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK, great actress Melissa Johns, you'll know from Grantchester. Again, really good story about facing adversity and turning it to advantage. Melissa had her phone hacked and some incredibly intimate pictures stolen, and it could have wrecked someone, really, couldn't it, Patch? Like, that's a real invasion of your privacy. It must be devastating. But Melissa's gone, right, I'm going to fight back. She's turned it into a one-woman show. The one-woman show has now just been commissioned, I think, by Netflix to be turned into a series. She's crushing it. So again, like, I mean, that's a fantastic feature. That's it's completely free. actonthis.tv/challenge.
She's on Father Brown at the moment.
Oh, is she? It's everywhere. Girl never stops working. Shout out to Melissa. Melissa was also born with a disability, born with one arm, a limb difference, and you know, that's caused, you know, challenges that a lot of people wouldn't understand. And she turned that into advantage. Really owned that. It is really about just owning your shit, basically, and just going, right, you know, these are the cards I'm dealt. How can I play a better hand? So that's the first thing. Act On This Acting Career Accelerator. Second thing, attend a new acting class or workshop this month. Just one. That's all. Like Petch is doing. Petch is going to the Manchester Television Workshop with Anthony Crank. Doesn't have to be that one. If you want any recommendations, just ask us, let us know. If you're a member of Acts on This, post in the community. We've got 1,000 people there.
Someone
give you
did
recommendations.
ask for recommendations down in London.
So, I mean, CMA is really the only one that I know of because we know the people who run it. That's Jam, Just Add Milk. Yeah, just Add Milk. It's a crazy name. It sounds like it's got nothing to do with acting, but yeah, go to Just Add Milk, Google it, book a workshop with them. I can highly recommend them. The lads who run it, Liam and Christian. Christian's Andy Pryor's casting associate. Andy casts massive stuff like Doctor Who, huge shows. Christian really knows what he's doing. Liam's a great guy as well. Liam McLaughlin, they run that. It's a charity, basically. We sponsored their working class bursary last year. They do a lot of good, and their workshops are really reasonably priced. So yeah, Just Add Milk, Craft Masters Acting, CMA, run by George Bakari and Majid and somebody else. I'm so sorry, I keep forgetting people's names. They've got Isha Sahota, the director of Netflix's Missing You, doing a workshop with them, a full weekend for 85 quid. I think it's like the 18th of January, something like that. But just Google Craft Masters Acting, you'll find their website and their Instagram. I'd recommend them for for London. But yeah, book something this month. It's just going to get you into a new environment, folks. Point number 3: have a chat with your agent. If you have if you have an agent right now, don't go into this year without a plan, without talking to them. Don't get to March and go, I've not spoken to my agent this year. See if they'll give you 15, 20 minutes, even if it's on Zoom, for a coffee and a plan. Get an action plan together for 2025. Tell them explicitly, these are the shows that I would like to be seen for this year. These are the casting directors I didn't get in front of last year. I'd love to get in front of this year. Get a plan together. Ultimately, communicate with your agent. You will be stronger together when you're both on the same page. Point number 4, self-tape practice. Whether that's upgrading your kit this year, if you go to actonthis.tv/self-tape, get our kit list, or whether it's just practicing your tapes so you're just more efficient with them, and you can focus more on your performance moving forward because you're not worried about the setup. If you need a reader, if you're part of Acts on This, post in the community, we'll get you a reader for your self-tapes, no problem. Maybe create your own little WhatsApp group for a few actor friends so you can all read in for each other. And then point number 5 is getting on top of your mindset. Just have a real honest chat with yourself. Where are you blocking yourself? What are you really afraid of? What's the worst that could happen if you actually get out your comfort zone and ask the world for what you actually want? It might say no for a bit. You might not get the exact outcome you want, but you're going to feel a damn sight happier than if you sat there a victim. Just feeling that you're out of control. What else would you say about mindset, Petch? It's something that we just see stopping people so much. It's like it almost just makes their journey in this industry miserable when they're just arguing for the limitations.
I think if you don't have a robust mindset, this industry can eat you up alive. You're going to face more rejection in this industry than you are rewards. That's just a fact. You're going to get more no's from auditions or from agents or from anybody than you are going to get yeses. And if your mindset isn't strong to be able to deal with that rejection, it's going to eat you up and it's going to spit you out. That's one of the main causes of why people leave the industry, I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you've got to be around people as well that are going to lift you up. Have a look at your circle. Yeah. Who are the battery drainers in your life? Are you hanging out with 5 that are just draining your batteries and you're the only one that's actually, trying to charge other people? If that's the case, seek out more inspired, motivated people this year. And again, just keep plugging it. If you come and join us on this, we've got 1,000 people here who are all on the same page. We're here to support you. So yeah, mindset is a big thing. So hopefully it gives you just some things, to think about for January this year. It is going to be a good year. I'm very excited about it, very optimistic. I'll show you some of the stuff we've got coming up as well. If you are a member of Acts on This, I'll show you our live schedule. We've got some fantastic calls coming up with some amazing people in January. Remember, actonthis.tv/challenge if you want to get some free coaching. But if you are, I'm going to have to open this in the same, hang on, it's going to open a separate tab. Let me just get the URL. If you want coaching dirt cheap, £6 a week off the biggest names in the game, the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers every single week this year, people that hold you accountable, people that give you support literally 24 hours a day. Come and get involved. If you go to actonthis.tv/live, you can see our schedule. This is happening next Thursday night. We've got top TV casting director Simon Pereira Hind with us. That's in 6 days, 2 hours, as of going live right now. You'll know Simon as casting director for Granite Harbour. Great show. I think it's just gone into season 3. That's for the BBC. Outlander, massive show. that Simon cast initially with Suzanne Smith, isn't it? Suzanne Smith, who cast the original Outlander, but Simon's just cast the prequel that's coming out this year called Outlander Blood of My Blood. Just got another big project coming up as well that she'll be talking to us about live on this call. That's going to be next Thursday night. We're going to dive into past projects, her casting process, how to get on her radar. We're going to give her email address away, tell you exactly how you get on her radar when you send your show reel, everything to do with basically Simon, her process, and just getting auditions from her this year. Week after that, we have got Normal People, co-casting director, and has also, cast loads of stuff, Karen Scully, but she's just cast the CW's brand new show with David Thewlis. How do you say his name? I think it is Thewlis. Thewlis, yeah, Thewlis. Called Sherlock and Daughter. It's like a Sherlock Holmes new drama. But must be with Sherlock Holmes' daughter. But yeah, that's not out yet. But that's a brand new show for the UK as well. But the CW is an American network. But yeah, go on. What you're laughing at?
I'm making up my own jokes in my head.
Oh right, okay.
Because it's like, Sherlock Holmes' partner's Watson.
Oh right.
This is daughter, so it's like Watson.
Watson. Okay, that's literally the worst joke ever.
That's probably I'm laughing.
Excellent.
Sherlock and what son? No, daughter.
No, daughter. I don't know if Sherlock Holmes did have a son. But yeah, Cameron's from Louise Kiley's office. Massive casting office in Ireland. Loads of stuff's going on in Ireland. There's a lot of production being filmed in Ireland because it's a little bit cheaper. Petch and I did BBC's Wreck the year before last, didn't we, in Ireland, in Belfast. That was a wicked shoot. So Cameron's going to be with us. She's never been on Act On This TV before. That's the 21st of January. Week after that, we've got the man himself, Shiraz Ahmed from Beverly Keogh Casting, top casting director there. Works with Beverly Keogh, another incredible casting director in this industry. They cast together All Creatures Great and Small. Shiraz also cast BBC's Graham drama, Stephen Graham drama, Time, with David Martin, legendary casting director. Fortunately, he's no longer with us. David was a total legend, but Shiraz worked with him on the BAFTA-winning Time, The Feud, The Hardacres. Shiraz has never really done any public-facing kind of workshops or anything, so it's a
Shiraz
good coup
did
getting
Ackley
Shiraz
Bridge,
on.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did do Ackley Bridge. Yeah, you're right. Yep, absolutely. It's not going anymore, is it? But yeah, Shiraz did do Ackley Bridge. Top bloke, though. First time he's ever been on Act On This. We're getting people on for the first time. Then we've got our first showreel surgery of the year at the first week of February. That's where we're going to play out 5 Act On This members' showreels. Going to walk you through an 8-step process to create your best showreel ever. Going to be joined by Chris Stone, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK. If you're a member of Act On This, you can put your showreel forward. We might choose yours to play out. You get some custom critique, basically, on your showreel. But even if yours doesn't get played out, you're going to learn so much that will just make your showreel really stand out in the top 1%. So that's February. We've got Natalie Payne, great agent, from Pay Management, coming up in February as well. Dermot Goggins. I've got Dermot Goggins. Oh, I've got Dermot Goggins on here. 18th of February. Yeah, Dermot's an absolute legend, one of the best directors in the industry. Has just been filming he was the lead director on ITV's brand new Code of Silence, a drama that's not out yet. It's just gone into the edit, but he's also directed huge shows before, like Witness Number 3, The Night Caller, Kin. Massive stuff. And he's just a legend. He's well up for meeting actors. He doesn't mind actors emailing him. He'll recommend actors to casting directors and just bring them in for auditions if he just wants to see them. Top guy. Well open to meeting new faces. So there's just so much coming up, and you can get access to every single one of these sessions with just one membership to Act On This. There's only one membership. It's £6.75 a week, so it's 27 quid a month. Or if you want to save 45 quid and get access to something called the Ultimate Contacts database that Petch has spent 400 hours on. It's the biggest database of casting director, casting assistant, casting associate, and agent contact details on the planet. You get it for free with a yearly membership. To Act On This. If you're currently on a monthly membership, by the way, if you upgrade, you'll get that for free as well, and you'll save 45 quid a year. So yeah, best value in the industry, full stop, but so much coming up. You can read all about it on Act On This. You'll get access instantly as well to an archive of every call we did last year. So there's 100 calls already in the members area. All these awesome podcasts you can see here. What guests did we have on last year? So Kelly, Duncan Foster, Corey Emmerdale director, Downton Abbey casting director Jill Trevelyan, Peter Hunt, Danny Broccolus, who was the writer of Brassic and Fool Me Once, does a lot of Harlan Coben dramas. Top agents, there's 100 sessions in the members area for you right now as well. But actonthis.tv/live if you want to check out the schedule for yourself. With that, Petch, probably waffled on enough. Anything else you want to say before we just go and have a cracking weekend?
No, I think that's everything. I've just seen Amy's comment over on Instagram saying I did the accelerator challenge last year, joined Act on This. It's been brilliant, and I'll be resubscribing again this year.
Amy, get on it. Get on it. Yeah, even if you're a member of Act On This, Amy, you can join the accelerator again. It's features that you might have seen as part of the membership, but there's a totally different spin on it because we're asking you questions about those features, about your own career. I'm going to be going live in a pop-up Facebook group we're going to run for the week as well. So there'll be extra coaching there. Join it again. It doesn't matter if you're a member or not. You might have seen some of those features. You will attack it a different way. During Accelerator Week. So actonthis.tv/challenge. Any other comments from YouTube, Petch?
YouTube, Maya has said, I'm already on a good deal as you grandfathered me in on actonthis.tv. Thank you.
Pleasure. That's what we do, basically. Anytime you sign up to Act On This, if I ever put prices up, I don't put them up for you. If you're already a member, you're immune. And just to give people a heads up, prices will be going up a little bit, not a lot, but on the 20th of January. I'll give you a heads up now, actually. Yeah, if you get your membership in the next 10 days, it's 27 quid a month. That's it. It's going up a little bit. I'm trying to put it up as minimal as possible. From the 20th of January, if you're not already a member, you will be paying 29 quid a month, just 2 quid a month extra. But it adds up, doesn't it? It's 25 quid a year. And it's 297. It's an extra 22 quid. If you go yearly after the 20th of January. If you get in and get a membership before the 20th, you will be locked into that price and you will never pay more than that 27 quid a month. So if you are thinking of joining, do it this weekend. Like, do it before the 20th anyway.
And let's just be honest on this as well, Ross, because I see a lot of companies putting prices up all the time and customers have no idea really why they're putting the prices up. I mean, I just got a message from my mobile provider saying that they're putting my tariff up again. It's like, I thought I was locked in. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Do you want to just tell the people why we're putting the prices up and be like really honest?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've not put the price of membership up since 2023. It's only been 2 years. I try not to put the prices up wherever I can. I never do discounts. Sometimes people go, "Oh, have you got any discount codes?" Because they might see on the checkout page a coupon code. The coupon codes aren't actually for coupons. They're for when people buy someone a membership as a gift. I give them a code to put into that, and then they get that membership as a gift. I never do discounts because I hate it when you buy something and then you see 2 weeks later someone going, "Oh, flash sale, 50% off." I'm like, do one, you idiot. Like, what? Why are you not like, rewarding me for my loyalty? Why are you giving new people a better deal than me? So I never do discounts. I just keep it as cheap as possible. And unfortunately, this is just the way of the world. Over the last 2 years, everything that we're paying for has gone up. So that includes, I mean, we literally thousands of pounds worth of software a year. Email providers, we send our emails out. Zoom is hundreds of pounds a month where we run our sessions. The software we're using to stream here, all of the software we use on the site. We've now got an app, an actual, personalized app for Act On This that's available for Android and Apple. We create broadcast quality podcasts now that require £1,000 worth of cameras and microphones. Like, everything ultimately is top drawer, but everything that we use has gone up. So it's like, well, I'm going to admit it, like, I have to pass that cost on a little bit, but even so, I mean, it's not even 10%. The price at the moment is 27 quid. 10% will be £2.70. I'm putting the price up £2. I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. But you will find people, I think, just put the price up just whenever they want. Fair play. Mm-hmm. Like, it's up to them. If people will pay it, that's the right price, isn't it? If I put the price up to 29 quid and no one pays it, I go, oh, that's too much. But I guarantee you, it'll £7. What would it be? £7.25 a month? Yeah, £7.25. You won't find anything else in this industry that comes anywhere near close to the value that you get at Act On This. When you think most people are charging you 65 quid for a 2-hour workshop where you get to perform for 2 minutes and then you sit down and watch everybody else for 2 hours, trust me, for 27 quid a month, you will get 14 hours of the best business of the business coaching in the industry, full stop, from the biggest names in the game who very often don't do features with anybody else. So it's very different what we offer. Plus, you've got the archive of 100 features from last year you'll get instant access to as well. So even if you only got a membership for a couple of months, taking all of the content at your disposal whenever you want, as much of it as you can, cram it in, cancel, it's fine, I don't mind, just use it. Ultimately, if you get a membership, please just act on it. That's why it's called Act On This. And if you want to find out how effective it is, look at all of the Trustpilot reviews we've got. You'll find them on the homepage. We've got over 250 5-star reviews on Trustpilot where people are like, this is the best thing, there's nothing else like this out there. It is very, very different. It's not the usual stuff you would find in an acting class. It's completely different, and it will earn you money if you implement it. So there we go. I'll finish by playing out the trailer for Simon's session next week.
Just before you do that, I am seeing quite a few questions coming, and unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through them on this call. However, do come over to our Facebook group and ask your questions there. We're in there pretty much all day, every day. Or, as Ross said, get a member of Act On This, the website, and ask your question in the membership area, and we'll do our best to give you the answers there and show you a feature that you'll get the answer to as well.
There was one, there was one person I'm going to honor, because at the very, very start, I brought Lisa's question up. I said, Lisa, I will do Q&A at the end, and I don't want to shortchange you, Lisa, if you're still in. It was about agents, wasn't it? It was this one. So you said, guys, I'm new on Spotlight, can't seem to get an agent. Right. Just very quickly, a couple of things that you can do, Lisa. Make sure that you have on Spotlight something called Talent Scout turned on. So Talent Scout is something that people who are non-repped on Spotlight can turn on. You've got to go and turn it on manually, though. And that means that agents who are looking for clients can find you, basically. So it's almost like the reverse of what would normally happen. You'd normally go and apply to agents. This is where agents can ultimately see the people who are looking for rep. Make sure that you've got great headshots that are authentically you, a really good show reel that could just be one scene. Doesn't have to be, super, super long show reel. It shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds anyway. It could just be a self-tape, a 90-second self-tape that's really authentically you, showing you to your authentic casting type. Great performance. That could be enough to pique somebody's interest. And then just the best piece of advice that I can give out when it comes to looking for agents that are going to be more likely to want to sign you, it's reverse engineering the agents that you're applying to. So if you're brand new, Lisa, you're just on Spotlight, you've not got any TV credits yet, you're looking for your first TV credit, it's highly likely your first TV credit is going to be in serial drama on UK TV. Over 3,000 roles are cast there every single year. We're talking Coronation Street, Emmerdale, EastEnders, Casualty, Doctor and Holby, you've gone. What's the one I've missed, Petch? Hollyoaks, Casualty, Coronation Street, Emmerdale, EastEnders, those 5. So what I would do is I would watch those shows, have a look for the day player roles within them. The day players are the smaller roles where maybe you'll play the nurse, the sonographer, the midwife, could be the police, one of those roles that are cast roles. You'll get paid about $1,000 for one of those roles. You might have anywhere between one line and 3 scenes or something like that. Make a note on the credits of the actor playing that role, and then just Google them, put the word actor after it, and their agent's website will come up. You get a list together. If you watch maybe a week's worth of serial drama, you might find 10 actors playing those day player roles. If you Google them all and you find out the agents that they're with, you'll see patterns emerging. You might see 2 with this agent, 3 with this agent. You'll basically find the agents that have got really good connections with these shows because they're getting their actors in them regularly. Start applying to those kind of agents because they're going to be, repping people that are on the same journey as you at the same part of their career that you're at. There'd be no point in you writing to United, Curtis Brown, Independent. They're just far too big for you right now. So it's aligning where you're at in this industry and the level you're playing at right now with the agents that are playing at that level and can get you work as well. So that would be my best piece of advice when you're looking for agents. But yeah, Lisa, if you join the memberships, again, it's not a sales pitch, you don't have to. We do have a community hub. We have a dozen features in there right now with agents. I bring agents on. We walk through their client list. We walk through how they work. We walk through how you can approach them, what they need to see from actors. We only bring great agents on. They ultimately give you a blueprint of how to apply for them for rep and get it right. So it'd be worth you getting a month's membership and just diving into those features and writing to those agents, because there's some cracking agents both in the north and the south in the members area. Maya says, if you don't have a membership, I would recommend it. Being a member since 2019, love this community and these 2 legends. Thank you, Maya. You're a legend as well. Really appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, I know sometimes it feels like, I'm just like, just get a membership and you'll find out. But it's what we do, honestly. There's not a single question anyone here could ask that isn't answered within our membership. If you come into the community and you ask a question in the members area, we can point you to a feature with one of the best minds in the industry that will tell you directly the answer to your question, and they'll probably be the agents you want to sign with, the casting directors you want to get in front of. Who better to learn from? Otherwise, you're just guessing. If I want to get in front of Daniel Edwards for the next series of Line of Duty, who better to learn from than Daniel Edwards? There's no point in me going, oh, well, he might like this. No, just watch the feature we've done with him and he'll bloody tell you. So there's nothing I could say that will be better than the features in the members area, basically. So do come and get involved if you can. Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Ross. So before Ross plays that next little trailer out for next week, I just want to say thank you to everybody joining us. If you are on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you think we've missed something out on this this recording of the 5 things that we think you should be doing in January. If you've got something else, pop it in there. If you don't agree with anything, pop it in there. We read the comments. We love to start a chat. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and what's the other one?
All that YouTube stuff.
Share with all your friends.
Yeah, smash it. That's what they say. We're YouTubers now, Petch. Smash it, smash that button, smash it all, share it all, like it all, do it,
hit it, tear it up.
Do
Just
what
let everybody know.
Yeah, basically do what you want, but just tell everybody to get involved. actonthis.tv, come and get involved. And I'm going to play out, this is a little teaser for Thursday night session next week. Simon Pereira-Hind, one of the biggest casting directors in the game, going to be with us Thursday night for 2 hours, walking through a casting process and ultimately how you can land auditions with her this year. Let me find it. Here it is. Right, I'm going to take us off the screen, Petch. Take us off the screen, Petch. And we're going to have a great weekend. But love to everybody. Have an amazing weekend. Do get involved in that challenge, that accelerator if you can. actonthis.tv/challenge. actonthis.tv everywhere. And we'll catch up with you in a little while. So I'll take us off, Petch, and then we'll play Simon out. So until next time, we'll say the catchphrase. Love to everybody. You know what time it is, Petch. In 3, 2, 1. Bye for now. We can never quite do it in time, innit? We say bye for now at the end of every session because we're weird. It's a catchphrase, but we can't do it in unison on here. Right, taking us off the screen, Petch. Let's play this out. Bye for now, everybody. Have a good weekend. Oh, God. Happy New Year, actors. Are you ready to make 2025 your best year ever? If the answer is yes, I want to invite you to the first actonthis.tv live mastermind session of the year. It is taking place on Thursday, the 16th of January at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom with this incredible woman here. Her casting credits include the Emmy-nominated smash hit Outlander, BBC dramas Granite Harbour and Float, upcoming BBC thriller The Island, and upcoming Outlander prequel, Blood of My Blood. It's casting director Simon Pereira-Hind back on Act On This. Simon, Happy New Year. What are we going to be covering on Thursday night then?
Happy New Year to you too. Well, I thought we should try and start with a bit of positivity as we finally reached 2025. We've actually survived till 2025, as everybody's been saying.
Yep.
What are we going to talk about? How about we talk about some of my potential upcoming possible projects? We'll see. How about we talk about, I'm always keen to talk about the self-tapes versus in-person meetings discussion, always. And I could tell you about some of my recent projects. How's that sounding?
Amazing. We will dive into Simon's casting process. Yeah, absolutely. Would love to know about some potential upcoming projects. Ultimately, getting on your casting radar for auditions in 2025. Simon, like you said, we are here now. We are going to thrive in 2025. And basically, actors, we're also going to do Q&A as well. Anybody has got any questions, Simon, to help them push their acting career forward faster, we will answer those as well. If you want to get involved, folks, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and every session. Every week this year, we are sitting down with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV, helping you push your acting career forward faster. So actonthis.tv/live for that. And Simon, you might remember this question from last time. I ask it every guest, but a bit of pressure. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
Well, how about the fact that I haven't done this for about 4 years and things are going to be bright and new and fantastic?
Yes, I love it. It's a perfect answer. We will get you back probably before the next 4 years, but if you don't want to wait, folks, you better be there. actonthis.tv/live.